and drop. So in our last lesson we talked about create, which is creating an instance. Could be a database, could be a table, could be a store procedure, views, trigger, and all of that. So in our last lesson we talked about creating a database. So we created customer info, and then we created a table, and then we created these columns in the table, and then we tried to insert these values in it. Though insert actually comes under DML, data manipulation language, but we just cannot leave our table empty, so that's why we just have to like insert into that particular data. So I said if you want to get access to the data used, you can use this link. It points to a GitHub repo. So this first one is the Excel file, while this one is the database file, and this particular one is the raw data, where you can actually fetch in the already made data ready to import into your data table. So now that we've actually talked about the database creation, and then we've also created a table, and then we've added values to that table using insert. So let's go ahead and see what is in our table. So I'm just going to run this, select everything from customer. I'm going to run that. I'm just going to pull my screen up. So you can see now I have my data in here. I have 150 records in this particular table. So the next thing I want to do, since I have three table to create, I've created the first one, and I can see that if I run this now, I can see I have just one table here. So now I want to create the remaining two. Alright, so I'm just gonna give me a minute to pull up my screen, so this is the data I'm working with. So we've created this first one, which is the customer. We have customer ID, first name, last name, gender, city, and country. So the next one I want to create is this orders table. So now we can see inside this orders table I have order ID, customer ID, order dates, product. I'm just going to remove this hash here. We have quantity, we have unit price. Okay, so now we want to create this in SQL. Just gonna bring this up, bring this to the side here. See,